Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Juju, or you can call me Ju. Alright, in this video I'm just going to be doing a sit down video. I planned on doing this video, and I actually was going to like do my makeup and dress up and all that, but it's more of a laid back type of video anyway. So, and plus it's almost 2 o'clock in the morning, so I ain't doing all that. Definitely not doing all that right now. But in today's video, I wanted to discuss and reflect with you guys on some of my experiences and kind of what I'm going through energetically and in life in regards to friendships and collaborations, partnerships, things of that nature, all types of friendships, all types of partnerships. So yeah, and I'm not sure what I'm going to name this video. I'm going to be talking about a few different things, but let me just start out by saying that I am a girly who currently has 0 friends, okay? I have acquaintances at this point in my life, but friends, none. And I had my spiritual awakening. If you guys don't know, I'm not religious. I'm spiritual, so I believe in crystals. I do tarot. I have a tarot channel if you want to check that out. My tarot channel was actually my personal channel, but then God, Spirit, told me to start to do tarot and help the collective, which is, you know, all of us, with their journeys and their ascension. So that's what I did, and this is my new personal page. So if you're wondering, you know, if you've been following me for a while and you're wondering why I don't have, or what happened to my other channel, that's what happened, okay? Yeah, I'm divinely guided in everything that I do. Everything that I do is very intentional, and I'm a very sentimental and sensitive person. I'm gonna do a 50 facts about me tag as well, but probably not tonight. But yeah, I'm a very sentimental person, and I take friendships, partnerships very seriously. But at the same time, it may not seem that way because of my own traumas and attachment styles and things of that nature. But I try not to be toxic. You know, I am very active in my healing and my shadow work, and I've always been that way. And growing up, I didn't have good experiences with having friends, with making friends. I was always kind of like just the person that was there. I wasn't popular, but not everybody knew me. But yeah, you can kind of say like everybody knew me, but a lot of the times it wasn't for the right reasons. And it wasn't because I was doing something to these people, or because I was doing something in general, or because I was a bad person. It was literally, I don't know what it was. I want to say, well, in hindsight, I know now it's because of my calling and because of the light, you know? And that's not to be egotistical or to be like, oh, I'm all that. But literally, that's the only thing that I can say, you know, it was. And so even whenever I would have friends, they would sometimes be friends with somebody that didn't care for me that much, and if I was the butt of the joke, I would be the last to know, you know? So that's pretty much been my experiences. And I mean, I did have 2 very significant best friends in my life that I would still like, that I would really consider like best friends, and I called them that, you know, because I don't say that often, right? And these are people that, like, even regular friends, I'm fine with like opening up my home and, you know, sharing my experiences and letting them see my family and things of that nature. Like, you guys have even saw my mom on my channel. So it's like, when you're my friend, when we're friends, we be locked in. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's like I'm your sister, you my bro, or you my sis, that type of vibe. So I've always been that way, and for the most part I had connections like that throughout my life. But even still, with those connections, there would be weird stuff. There would be, you know, betrayals, backstabbing, you know, two-facedness, all of that, all right? And I really just got to a point in my life where I had to realize, like, these people don't like you. These people do not like you. And it came to that point because, like, when you are going through a phase of just reflecting on your choices, on where you are in life, and I had hit a rock bottom in my life. Like, I hit several rock bottoms in my life, you guys. Like, okay, first of all, with my relationship, I'm engaged now. Go watch that vlog. But with my relationship, I met him in 2017 on Facebook. And thank God that was not a flop, or that he's not insane or something like that. But no, my relationship really did prove to me who I was, and that's a good thing. But it also showed me a lot about, you know, the relationships outside of me. And it's not just because of, like, the basic things in my relationship, like me just falling in love and just being head over heels over somebody, no. But the fact that our relationship was progressing and my life was progressing, and I started to level up in my mindset, and I became a mom, you know what I'm saying? Like, I moved from my hometown. All of these things started to happen, and I had really no choice but to look for other things to occupy me and to also take the place of those partnerships and those friendships that I was previously engaging in. But it was definitely a good thing. It was a breakthrough for me. I see that in hindsight now. But yeah, back in 2017 when we met online, and we were only like 4 hours away because we both lived in PA, Pennsylvania, but he lived in Philly, and I'm from a small town. And you know, with small towns, like, everybody knows each other. And so I've always experienced, and I have a huge family, so since I was a kid, I would have crushes on people, and they would either not like me back, or they would be my cousin. Like, literally. They would be my cousin. So, and mind you, growing up, I was never the girl who had tons of boyfriends, who was dating around. I was never anybody's, you know, first pick, okay? I was, you can kind of say I was like the ugly duckling. Now, it was kind of weird because I would still get compliments like, oh, you're pretty, even whenever I was young. Like, I had confidence, and my confidence didn't really start to deteriorate until being in school, and outside of school, like, just being around my peers and not fitting in, people talking about me, people making fun of me, people bullying me, you know what I'm saying? So that really messed up my confidence in the way that I saw myself and my inner dialogue. So it didn't matter what the outside looked like, and it didn't matter what I could have transformed into from that beautiful little precious pure child girl, okay? I feel like I never got the chance to do that, but it was all for good reason, because I went through a phase to where, okay, my confidence was, I was battling with my confidence. And these are all things that I reflected on and I talked to myself about, okay? Because I didn't have connections that I could be vulnerable in, because at the end of the day, I was nobody's first choice. So there's nobody that I can go to that I can trust with the deepest parts of me or how I'm feeling, because they don't give a fuck. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what I had to realize at a young age. But because of who I couldn't just get up and move. You feel what I'm saying? So for a long time, I coped with the fraudulence, the fakeness, the shadiness. And that's how I know so much about these types of dynamics, because I've internalized a lot, not internalized it, but I've observed so much, and I had to kind of detach and really understand so that I could detach and really still keep that part of me that's like, nah, you that bitch. You are that bitch. I don't care what he's saying, what she's saying, how she feel, how he feel. You that bitch. And that's why. But that didn't take away from the fact that I still felt insecure, uncomfortable, You feel what I'm saying? So that is the gist of that. And like I said, a lot of my friends would, you know, date around and have boyfriends and stuff like that and get asked out on dates and like, let's go to the dance together, let's do this together. Not me. You feel me? And I was always the friend that I kind of attracted friends who didn't have the greatest self-esteem in themselves. But I've always been that person to uplift somebody, to cheer somebody on, to let them know that they're beautiful, they're handsome, you know, let them know about their good qualities, okay? And that's also how I know so much about projection and about really setting up boundaries, energetic boundaries as well. Because when you are in those types of dynamics, it's draining for you as somebody who's either not in that space or who's trying to get out of that space, and you know how, or you're doing the work to learn how, but you're around people who are not being responsible. But we were young. But yeah, I had a best friend who, you know, she struggled with suicidal thoughts. She's been, you know, in the ward before. We didn't come from we came from humble beginnings, okay? And I was always there for her, and she's been through a lot in her life as well. But it became too much for me. It became too much for my heart. It became too much for my psyche. It became too much for my mind and my spirit. And then also, like, just not feeling appreciated, you know, that takes a toll on somebody when you show up time and time again for people around you, but they never reciprocate that same energy. And I was never showing up so that people could, you know, come to this event with me or do this for me. I was never showing up to have that, but it would be nice. It would be nice. Like, so I had to learn how to start doing things by myself. And yeah, from a young age, even with like my best friends, they didn't want to really bond with me when it came to like actually doing things that I like to do, or just exploring who it is that I was and what it was that I liked. I've always been that person for other people. And when I did get to express myself and the things that I was trying to cope with and the things that I liked and all of those things with my best friend, it was kind of like, okay, I'm gonna spy on you, I'm gonna observe you, and then I'm gonna try to become you. It's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I spent, and this brings me to, well, let me get into my relationship, because that's my friendship and like how things were when I was growing up. And I just always felt like I was out of place, you know? I'm not really gonna go too deep into it, but I'm the youngest child of 8. And then my mom, she only has 2 kids, and I'm also the youngest child from her side. So I pretty much was like an only child, but it's not the kind of experience that you think where I was spoiled and all those things. No, that's not the experience that I got from it. I always felt like, oh, so basically I'm alone. Basically, like looking around, all my cousins had older brothers and sisters, and even with my family, they had favorites too, and I wasn't the favorite. Like, you know, I couldn't just call up my cousins and be like, yeah, we gonna ride on this. Yeah, there was been certain times where I would have confrontations and people would ride for me, but 9 times out of 10, no. I was the one that was riding for other people. I was the one, because I'm not the person that's in drama. So 9 times out of 10, it's my friend or my cousin or an acquaintance that's getting in drama, and I happen to be there. Or I happen to hear about it, and you know me, what you want to do, and it's just like I had to learn how to chill. And I wasn't doing those things, maybe subconsciously I was doing those things to gain validation, to gain respect or admiration, or to get people to realize like, hey, you can trust me, like I'm the one that's really gonna, like I'm the one, it's me, like what about me? Subconsciously that probably was what it was, but consciously, I just thought I was being a good friend. I thought I was being a good cousin. I thought I was just being a good person. But people didn't give a fuck about being a good person to me. I'm being for real, y'all. I'm being for real. I'm not a victim. Because like I said, the whole entire time everything was happening, like one time I had a friend who, she's married now, but the person that she's married to, his best friend, I was talking to him, and she knew. We all went to the same church together. I was talking to this boy. We kind of had a crush on each other since we were younger. And I don't know, like a few weeks later, come to find out she's talking to him. And it was just kind of like a transition to where, now mind you, I was never fast. I didn't lose my virginity until I was 18 and I was in college. And like, I wasn't doing any of that stuff in high school. So it was like, y'all got that, you got that. So I always been the type of girl, it's like, I'm cool with playing it back anyway, because the stuff that these little boys want y'all to do, I'm not doing it. So you go ahead, you be in their face, handle that, and I'm gonna sit here and be cute, but let y'all tell it it's something else. But yeah, 2 weeks later or like a month later, I don't know how, we weren't talking for that long. It was just, and mind you, I was going through my own traumas. I was insecure. I was all of these things because of my environment, because of my peers, okay? So there was really no room for me to date, for me to explore my options, because for one, I had it in my mind by that time already, by high school. I was like, okay, everybody in this town is related to me. And if somebody new did come, you know how it is. When somebody comes from out of town, everybody flocks to that one person because it's fresh meat. And then they start to act like everybody that's from the same town. So it's like, no. Yeah, so I've always been an out of town type of girl, long distance type of girl. I'm on the phone trying to find me a little boo thing. You feel what I'm saying? Because also online, I kind of got my validation from there, because it's like, and not even just online, but anytime I would go outside of my environment, outside of my town, outside of the people that knew me. Oh, you're so pretty, you're so beautiful. Oh, we love your personality. Oh, you should be a star. Oh, you're gonna be this. Oh, you're gonna be that. Oh, you're gonna do great. You're great. You know what I'm saying? But so it's kind of like people have kind of tried to lie to me about who I was, but I still got the confirmation, I still got the validation, I still got the synchronicities, I still got the message. And God is always going to make sure that I get the message, period, because nobody's going to stop my blessings. And it was divinely guided for me to be who I am and what I am. And that's just me. It's not about a title, it's not about what I do, it's not about what I have. I'm just grateful for it to even have the confidence and self-esteem that I have, and to be in the line of work that I'm in, to have the freedom that I have. Like, everything is a blessing to me, and I've always lived my life that way. And yeah, I feel like that's why people be mad. But back to my relationship in 2017, when we met, the first time I went to go meet him, I was there for my birthday. My birthday is July 3rd, and on my birthday, my grandma passes away. Yes. So I get a call, hey, grandma passes away. Boo-hoo, I'm crying. I gotta leave early because my grandma's funeral was about to be this weekend. So I go back home, I go to the funeral, I'm mourning, you feel what I'm saying? I'm sad. Excuse me. I saw my dad at the funeral. I want to say like a day or two later, my dad's in the hospital. Oh my gosh, what is going on? 2 weeks later, my dad passes away. That was a heartbreaker. My grandma was a heartbreaker too, but my grandma has been old my entire life. My mom was in her 30s when she had me, and my dad has been old my entire life as well. So I was grateful that he made it that far to see me. I think I was 21 when I just turned 22 when he passed away. But and I had my baby a year later. But I wish he would have been here to see his grandkids, but I really feel like everything was divinely guided, because after my dad passed away, I hit up one of my childhood friends, and these are friends who I also saw as family. Like, I called their mom my aunt, and my two friends, they were sisters, and those were my sisters. You feel what I'm saying? Even though they already had their thing, I felt like I was the third. But again, it would always be something something snarky, something shady, something sly. And these are things that I'm used to. So it's like, just deal with it. This is your reality. But at the same time, I never didn't know. I never not knew that there was something wrong. You feel what I'm saying? I was never naive to the fact that, okay, I'm nobody's favorite. Why do I feel like sometimes people don't want me around? Like, all of these things would be running through my mind. And one of their nicknames for me was Cousin It. And I never watched the Addams Family growing up, so I didn't really get the reference, and I still don't get the reference, but it just feels like it was just condescending to me. And that could just be me because of the things that, again, my traumas, but I have a right to my truth. And yeah, so I've disconnected from a lot of people from my past simply because of, I see how they are with other people, and the way that they are with me is completely, totally different. And something about it, somewhere, somehow, it just feels utterly disgusting. Their energy towards me, and the way, their intentions, and the way that they, like, I'm very sensitive, you guys. I'm very intuitive. So I can tell. Even if the energy changes, you don't have to say anything to me. If the energy changes, I can tell. You feel what I'm saying? If you were happy before I walked in the room, then all of a sudden you're like, I know I'm not doing anything to you. Who pissed in your Wheaties? Because it wasn't me. Turn that frown upside down. But I had to learn, I'm not going to fight for a spot. I'm not going to fight to be validated. I'm not going to fight to be seen. I'm not going to fight to be heard. I'm going to simply move the fuck on, because it's plenty of people who see me and value me and appreciate me for who I am. Period. And if they don't, that's my responsibility to see me, to understand me, and to value me, and to love me for who I am. I'm not going to change to try to be validated. I'm not going to change because that's never going to work. Even the times whenever I was people pleasing and all those things, those are the main times where people were hammering me down. Like, my self-esteem is already shit. What else do you want from me? What else do you want from me? But we all handle things differently, because like I said, I did have friends that had these problems, but I was always, you go get them, Tiger. And I wish that I would have had that. You know, people did do that for me, but it was never balanced. And like I said, it just wasn't genuine. Like, anytime that I felt like I was being vulnerable with people, that I was being honest with people, that I would share my emotions, share my feelings, open up my heart, open up my surroundings, my environment, it was always some malicious intent, some hidden intentions, some hidden motives. And that's trauma too. But that's also toxicity. And I've never been the type of person to outwardly just be toxic. I've always been on my healing journey. I've always been a reflective person. So anyway, I moved down here with my sister friends and my auntie mom. And I got a job and I started working. Now, mind you, it was kind of, again, divine timing, divine alignment, because a few months before that, and was it before I met my fiance? After I met my fiance, because I met my fiance in February of 2017. We started dating on March 3rd, 2017. And then in May, I was struggling to get a job, you guys. Mind you, again, I come from a very small hometown where everybody knows each other. And I didn't learn how to drive. Nobody taught me how to drive. My grandma and my mom, they both don't drive. So I was the third generation of women who didn't know how to drive. And even when I would try to drive, nobody wanted to teach me. I did have access to people who had cars, but they were either younger than me or around my age, and I just never asked anybody to teach me how to drive. And nobody had time for that. So it was like, okay, fine. So I really heavily relied on my dad to get me around. So you guys can see kind of like the relationship that I had with my dad. I could call him for anything. But at the same time, even me and my dad's relationship was kind of skewed because, again, he had 8 other kids. He had been in a relationship before my mom, and when their relationship severed, his girlfriend or wife, whatever you want to call her, she pretty much hated me. She hated me, she hated my mom, she hated my grandmother, and she can lie up and down. She's dead now, but she used to lie to my face and say, you know, I don't hate you. And when you have to come out of your mouth and say, I don't hate you, like literally nobody at all, her. Yeah, Jaleesa, I don't hate you. You know, I'm just mad at your dad for what he did. And it's like, ma'am, I'm 21 years old now. You're either gonna shut the fuck up and get over it or leave. She never left, and she never shut the fuck up over it. Anyways though, so yeah, there was that, and all of her kids, they pretty much don't like me. Yeah, I'm gonna put it like that. Like my siblings, they don't like me. I've always been the outcast. I've always been the pariah. I've always been, and I don't care how people feel about it, because motherfuckers can see a clip and now all of a sudden you want to be so invested. No, don't do it. Don't do it. And after my father died, because I wasn't all boo-hooing on Facebook, my own aunt, well, my uncle, his wife, she's gonna say something like, oh, she must not really be grieving or something like that. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you don't even talk to me. These people don't even talk to me. But they really had the nerve to say that I didn't care about my dad, or I wasn't grieving about my father's death because I didn't say something on Facebook. Come on, bro. Come on. And I'm the type of person, I will post stuff on Facebook, but I was going through shit at that time. The last thing that I wanted to do was post on Facebook about my fucking father passing away. Even I was still posting, but I was trying to post to find my way out, post uplifting things. And kind of like distract myself. I had just lost my grandma on my birthday, like 2 weeks before that. These people are insane. So this is why I say I'm very good with the art of detachment and the art of not giving a fucking fuck. Because the people who were supposed to love me right off the bat, just because of who I am and what I represent, they didn't. They couldn't. Too busy following behind what somebody else fucking said. Use your own mind. Use your own fucking brain. This is an innocent fucking baby. My father was not with you when he conceived this fucking baby. I have nothing against my little sister. But no, none of them seen it that way. And even the kids from his previous marriage, not from the woman who hates me, but from another woman. I don't know how she feels about me. We've been cordial. I've talked to her. You know, I went to her house after his funeral, but even her kids, we don't talk. And I've always felt like I'm the little sister. Like, you guys should be reaching out to me. You guys should be, no, never. And as I got older, I was just like, fuck it, you know? And I believe when I was 18, or maybe it was when I was like 20, it was when I was older, my dad comes up to my house one day and he's like, oh yeah, I got somebody that I want you to meet. And if you're black and your dad has a lot of kids, you've experienced this before. Just random. Oh yeah, I got somebody that I want you to meet. Here's your big brother that you never met before. He just got out of jail. I'm like, okay. So I'm happy. I got a big brother. You know, yeah, he just got out of jail, but fuck it, you know what I'm saying? And he was cool too. He was cool. We got each other's number. We was cool. We was kicking it. We was bonding. I had even went over to his house before. And then out of nowhere, he just stops talking to me. Just cold. Stops talking to me. And it's so weird because my mom, she still lives in my hometown, and like, even whenever I was still there, she would come home, or when we would talk, she would be like, oh yeah, I saw your brother, or oh yeah, I saw your cousin, oh yeah, I saw your sister. I'm just like, so why do y'all have the gall and the audacity to talk to my mother, to ask about me, to talk about me, when you couldn't even take the initiative to reach out to me as an older sibling at any point in my life? I don't give a fuck now because I'm grown. But as a young child, I never understood that shit. And that's something else that I had to understand and overstand so that my ego did not become fragile. Fuck that shit. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with me. And I'm saying you to anybody who may have gone through a similar experience with like rejection. Understand that rejection is God's protection. If your family members don't want to fuck with you, the other side of the family don't want to fuck with you, whoever, whatever it is, understand that rejection is protection, because there's something in you that they are not going to be able to handle. They're not going to be able to, like, it's simple. Period. And there's been other people in my life that my stepmom has accepted that wasn't, you know, part of her grandkids or her kids. So I never understood what the fuck is the problem with me. I never got it, but I never gave a fuck enough to ask, because again, that would be me seeking validation, me trying to understand. You can't understand crazy. You can't understand insanity. You can't understand hatred. That's what I had to tell myself. That's what God told me. I have nothing to say to them. I don't want to be connected to them at any point in time in my life. Like, no. So yeah, I relied on my dad heavily for transportation, and I was trying to find a job, and I couldn't find a job because every opportunity that I got, I would try to ask him to take me to the interview, which it was never going to work out anyway, because if I gotta ask my dad to take me to the interview, he's not going to be able to take me to work every day. Especially with her, she used to sabotage our plans. She used to make him do stuff whenever I would call him to come get me or take me somewhere, or we had plans to do something. All of a sudden he can't come, or he's just not showing up. So I have always dealt with this, and the bigger picture that I've always dealt with is dealing with fucking cowards who enable bullshit toxicity and bullshit behavior. And that's why I root for the motherfucking underdog, because I've always been the underdog. I've always just seen motherfuckers enabling bullshit, clocking it. Oh, you just gonna shut the fuck up? Oh, you not gonna say nothing? Oh, all right. And motherfuckers think because I'm not sad and I'm not upset and I'm not crying and I'm not ripping and running, that what, it don't affect me? Or that what, it is affecting me and I just can't say shit, I just can't do shit? No, it's making me stronger, and it's making me see what a fuck bitch you are. Excuse my language, you guys. With my friends, with my family, with my own dad. It is what it is. The truth is the truth. There's certain parts about him and my relationship with him that I simply cannot stand and I simply cannot reckon with. But that's something that I need to handle for myself, and I'm still handling it for myself. But my older brother Chris, he is an angel, okay? He is the only sibling from my dad's side of the family who I'm still in contact with. And we did not meet until I was older as well, but he's a sensitive person like me. He's a Libra, and he's very balanced, he's very fair, just, okay? He's a good guy, a great big brother, and he is a truck driver. So in May, I was like, well, I think he asked me, he was like, you want to come ride the trucks with me? And I'm like, hell yeah, because I didn't have shit else to do. I didn't have no job, I didn't have no house. I was trying to get housing in, I'm not gonna say my town, I was trying to get housing, and this just goes to show you like where I come from and in my environment. Everybody was getting housing. People was coming from Philly to my town to get housing. Nobody was trying to give me a house because I didn't have no kids and I didn't have no steady income. Whatever, let them have it. It was never for me. But yeah, so I was like, fuck y'all, bye. I got on the truck with my brother. I was on the truck for 3 months, yeah. Because me and Ashad started talking in March, and in May I was like, I'm going on a truck, and I was like, I'll be back. And that's when we started planning, because like there was no way that I could go to Philly and I didn't have no job. He was barely working too, because he had just got out of a relationship and he had moved back to Philly from Houston. So it was really divine timing how we met and everything. And no later than December, he was coming back to Texas because I had a plan. I told him on the phone, I was like, I'm about to get my own apartment. And he was like, I'm coming down there. So, and on January 1st, we signed our lease. And we was in there, we was on a freaking blow up bed, okay? Humble beginnings again. And we both were working and all that stuff. And then next thing I know, I was pregnant. So then we had the baby, and I remember laying in the damn bed, and I had made an announcement post on Facebook, like, I just had my baby, and I was getting all types of congratulations. And my ex-best friend hits me up in my inbox, and she's like, oh, congratulations on the baby, da 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 da. And I responded, and I remember, and I said, I love you. And she had the nerve to text me back and say, message me back and say, oh, you don't love me, nobody loves me. That was it. That was it. I think that's the last time. She has hit me up since then, and I've kept it short and brief with her. I have no ill feelings. I have no ill feelings towards her. Because with her, I understand, you know, and she never did anything malicious to me. It just became too much to bear, right? But we were like that. And then, but yeah, after that, I was just like, you know what? This is bullshit. Like, are you serious? I'm laying here with my fucking crotch bleeding out, and you are really gonna make this about you and say that I don't love you after everything that I've done, after everything that I've gave, and you want me to give you more right now at this very moment? Are you fucking kidding me? Talk about exhausted. Talk about exhausted. Bruh. Exhausted ain't even a word. Yeah, I cut that short. And then, but in between that time, my other best friend, who I was still in contact with briefly, and to keep it real, when I moved to Texas, I didn't have any best friends at that time, and I should have known that. But I wasn't that far along in my own development and my own journey, and that's me being humble, because I was still very developed and all of those things, because again, I've been doing this shit for a long time. But I was still attached to people that I knew didn't like me. I was still, I was still in the trenches a little bit. And this best friend was part of that as well. And but anyway, he asked me, could he come to Texas? And well, he didn't ask me, because you don't have to ask me for permission, but I was down there, and he wasn't that cool with my sister friends. He wasn't as cool with them as I was, so it wasn't like he could ask them to stay at their house. So he asked me, and I should have said no. I was living with Ashad, and I should have said no, because why would I want another man in my house? And he was gay, and so I said yeah. And it only took him he already initiated a lot of stuff on his own. So this is somebody that I really admired and looked up to, because he had more than me. Like, this is somebody, he was a go-getter, you feel what I'm saying? Like, we had the same energy. We was like this, but it was certain blockages that I had that he didn't have, certain achievements that I didn't have that he had. So, and I respected that about him, and I loved that about him, and I was here, I was inspired by it, I was motivated by it. So here I am with my new beginning, and okay, my best friend wants to come down here, let's go. I need friends. I don't really know nobody down here. And again, even when I started working at my job, people wanted to be my friend, but I was just so closed off. But I shouldn't have been closed off, because the reason why I was closed off is because of my experiences from past connections. But what I really needed to do was explore and open up to new connections, so that I could let go of these past connections and start that healing process. But I wasn't at the place to really understand that and integrate that knowledge and start to do that type of work. And who knows where I would be if I would have done that. But I didn't. Trying to know new friends my way through life. And that failed. Because I'm really the type of person, like, I really just thought that I was gonna have the same friends. Like, yeah, we've been friends for 30 years. That would have been great, but no. Motherfuckers is just, they weird, bro. But yeah, so, yeah, this, my friend, he didn't take that long to get his own apartment and stuff like that. So it wasn't that bad until I get pregnant. And at this time, I had done so much fuck shit. Like, I had quit my job, started another job, then I started another job. So I was working at this job, work from home job. Ashad was working from home too. And long story short, we couldn't pay the rent. And at this time, we didn't know about like relief plans and like that you could call and get governmental help, or these different agencies in your county and stuff like that. We didn't know any of those things. And especially me, this is my first time living alone. And God bless Ashad's soul, because and to this day, he's still being patient with me as far as my journey and my growth, right? Like, I went from somebody who has never been in a serious relationship to somebody who's now in a serious relationship. I'm pregnant, I'm having a baby, you feel what I'm saying? I'm living by myself. I'm living fucking miles away from home. Like, God really did that. But Ashad, he is such a great man, dad, partner, and he's so patient with me. He has taught me so much, and I couldn't do anything that I'm doing. I would not be where I'm at if it was not for him. So yeah, I owe him a lot. And what was I saying? There's more than what meets the eye to our connection. And that's what people need to understand. Like, we've had a lot of naysayers, we've had a lot of haterade on our connection, on our relationship, on our love. It's just like, whatever. Whatever. We still have our own shadows and our own toxic things that we do, and that we're our own toxic ways, but we have patience with each other, and we're willing to learn and grow and give each other space to learn and grow. So that's what a relationship is, like, period, point blank. A lot of people, they don't resonate with that. They don't understand that, because for a lot of people, they'll hear something, or their partner will say something to them, or they'll do something to them, and that's something that it is a deal breaker, because they know that that person is not willing and ready to be accountable, to change their behavior, to change their actions, or to even understand their point of view and why they feel the way they feel. So that's understandable. But when you're in a relationship where you're healing your own, where you're actually like healing your own traumas, and you're doing the shadow work, when those shadows come out, when those traumas come out, or those reactions or whatever, those triggers from those traumas come out, a real relationship, you should be able to point it out and talk about it, or talk about it, communicate about it, and change it. And sometimes it may take time. Sometimes it may take time, but that doesn't take away from the connection. Actually, it adds to the connection, right? So, and what I've noticed is that a lot of people have judged our connection because we are vulnerable, not only just with each other, but just in life. We're authentic, not only with each other, but just in life. So if they see us say something or hear something or do something, they get offended. They get more offended than we get with each other. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, this is, first of all, this is an insider, bro. Okay, mind your business. But yeah, it's just like, whatever. But nevertheless, we by the time I had the baby, we didn't know any of those resources that we know now, and nobody gave us, the help that we needed. And that was really the time where I felt like, yeah, people want to see you fall, girl. People don't like it. People don't fuck with you, girl. They don't fuck with you. This is where the tables turn, because again, here I am, my best friend, he's down here, and thank God that he was, because we got to move all our stuff we moved a lot of our stuff to storage, but we moved a lot of our stuff into his house. We asked him if we could live with him, stay with him. We weren't even there Were we there for a year? It was a little under a year for us to get back on our feet. And thank God for him. Again, I have no ill intentions because I am healing, all right? But I had to release what I had to release, and I don't feel guilty about it. I feel no shame. I feel no remorse. But at the same time, I understand. again, I understand because these people have not healed. And I know that because I was with y'all when y'all were hurting. I was with them when they were hurting. I know their hurts. I know their pain. I don't know all of it. And that's their own fault. Because when people had the opportunity to be in my energy, to be in my presence, they didn't want to be vulnerable. They wanted me to be vulnerable. They wanted to know my secrets. They wanted to know my plans. They just wanted to sit back and plot and watch and observe and laugh and stalk and plot. Did I say plot already? Yeah. So it's like, okay, so now you figure out your shit. What do you need to do? Because you knew what I needed to do. But what is it that you need? And now you have to figure it out for yourself, by yourself. We moved in with him and things were cool. But you know how, especially when you're sensitive, especially when you're intuitive, you share your dreams, your goals, your aspirations with somebody. And again, we were best friends, so we had similar dreams, we had similar goals, we had similar aspirations, we had similar personalities. Yes, that's very much so true. But there's a difference, and you can tell when somebody is trying to be you, become you, right? Especially when there's signs and there's been word for years that this person has gone behind the scenes to say certain things and do certain things to sabotage you. And again, something that I've dealt with all my life is that people don't know how to choose their side. And it's like, okay, you don't have to choose a side, but I'm gonna go where I'm appreciated and where I'm valued. And meet people on my side who are sure about me. Sure. Be sure, because I'm official. I'm beneficial. I'm not just beneficial, I'm beneficial. So what we're not going to do is we're not going to allow people around us to benefit from us, but then also go and go play the gossip games or whatever these low vibrational people do. I've always been about my business. I've always been to myself. I mind my business. I'm about my business. And especially once I had my baby, like I'm a mom now, I'm minding my business. I'm minding my business. But, and I don't think that my friend went out and told people that I was homeless, but I know that a lot of people, well, I'm not going to say a lot of people, I know that some people from my hometown knew because he told them. And because there's always been things about me that would get out and it's like, who said something? How does this person know? Right? And not only that, there's always been patterns, again, of people who are friends. Like, we could all be a friend group, but they have their own friend group where I'm not included. They have their own group chat where I'm not included. And the conversation is about what? About who? About me. Who else? But then next week, y'all all gonna come and be around me and smile on my face. So that's the type of dynamics that I'm used to. That's the type of dynamics that I had to deal with growing up. And I thought that shit was normal. And once I was able to get away from it, I decided, I was like, oh no, fuck this. You know? And I started deleting people. I started blocking people from my Facebook. And then I finally made the decision to block my ex-best friend. Got to my breaking point. I really got to my breaking point when he tried to become a life coach. And I'm not sure what this person is doing now, but, and God bless him, you know. I'm not a hater. I'm not in it. And I supported him. I made him a flyer and everything because I had just started out my graphic design business at this time. He wanted to be a life coach. And I'm like, all right, all right. And again, it's always been that type of energy to where you know my dreams, you know my goals, you know my aspirations, you know my energy. if not better than anybody else. Cause he's been around, we've been best friends since preschool, me and this person. Since preschool, I need to add that. So he knew my dreams, he knew my goals, he knew my aspirations, and it just felt like he was just trying to hurry up and just jump in front of shit that I wanted to do. Shit that was supposed to have my name on it, shit that I was supposed to be known for. You feel what I'm saying? He wanted to hurry up and do it. And it's one thing to want to do something if you really are passionate and devoted and you have knowledge about that shit. But he didn't have no fucking knowledge about, yeah, you can go get a fucking life coach certificate from any fucking body. That doesn't mean that you actually have life coach experiences. That doesn't mean that you actually have the life experience. That doesn't mean that you actually have the knowledge. And I didn't want to come out and say these things, and that's the thing. That's the thing. The relationship that we had, and this is why I had to let it go, because I had to realize this is the last karmic connection that I have to sever ties with, what I was at that time, because we're gonna forever be evolving and cutting off shit. But yeah, at that time I was like, this is the last karmic connection that I had to let go, because there's a lot of remnants from my past. Like, he was a major piece of my story, but everything that was attached to him was attached to my past. It would just remind me of my past, because he was still attached to people from my past, people that did me wrong, people that talked about me, people that didn't like me. So that's number one. Number two, I feel like you're trying to jump in front of what I'm supposed to do. This ain't even your lane, bro. Cause it's like, yeah, we both had that entertainment, jolly type of energy. We were very alike in that way. But when it comes to the nitty-gritty, to wisdom, to knowing shit, to shadow work, to helping folks, you don't have the tools, bro. I'm looking right at you. I loved him to have a good time. To have a good time. You're a fun time. But are you really? And that's what I had to really realize. Like, are you really? Because you're not doing the work. Like, he was an alcoholic. I don't know what he's doing in his life at this time, but he was an alcoholic. So it's like, how are you gonna be a life coach and you're an alcoholic? And then that really brought me to the understanding that, oh, motherfuckers wanna look like me, wanna wear my energy. And again, I get love, respect, even during the times when people wanna talk about me and bully me and gossip me, but you respect me though. You ain't never heard, I ain't got no dirt on my name. I ain't never snaked nobody out. Why y'all can't say that? Y'all can't say that though, right? The shit that actually fucking matters in life. Yeah, bro. Just let these people talk behind my back. I've always been that way. And then I just pop out like that bitch. But yeah, and he's always had friends and connections to other people, and he would come back and tell me, oh, this person likes you, this person, and they would always be low vibrational. So he had a lot of other connections that were low vibrational. So again, I understand, but you're not gonna come over here and do that shit. And I'm not gonna continue to call you my best friend and attach myself to you and attach my name and attach my work and my energy to your energy. I can't do that. And God, my ancestors and my spirit guides, I had my awakening in 2020. But before that, I was still in connection. But God was like, no, it's time to go, because every single time I would always get this inkling, like, this person, they don't like me. They want to be me, but that doesn't mean that they like. See, if somebody wants to be you, yeah, they like you, but they don't like you because they want to be you. So I have to get people to see you as me or as somebody that you're not, somebody totally different than who you actually are, because I need to be you. You feel me? And that's weird. That's scary. That's crazy. And it's weird. And I don't want to deal with it. And I'm never going to deal with it. Ever. Ever. And I'm going to clock it. Like, that's number one. I'm going to fucking clock it. So once he started thinking that he was going to push me around and push other people around, because that's basically all it is. It's all for power. It's all to be able to say you're this person, you're this thing, you're doing this, you're doing that. But what are you really doing though? What are you really doing? Are you really being genuine with what seed you're planting? And I didn't think that he was. So I simply decided to disengage. And that's my prerogative. It doesn't have to be this big thing where, oh, he tried to F my man. He tried to fuck me over. A person doesn't have to straight out come and say, hey, I don't fuck with you. Hey, I'm about to do you in something. I'm about to do you something. Nowadays, people, 9 times out of 10, people are not going to say that. People are not going to come out and tell you that. That's why you have to have discernment. That's why you have to listen to your intuition, listen to your gut, listen to your mind, your first mind about people. When people make you uncomfortable, when the things that they say make you uncomfortable, when the things that they do make you question, like, what the fuck? There's a reason for that. You're never tripping. You're never tripping. We moved out of his house in 2020, and that's when we moved in with my in-laws. I don't have the best relationship with them. To be honest, I have no relationship with them. But again, it's always been that way, so I'm fine. And I'm used to it. I'm used to not having a relationship with people that you would think you're supposed to have a relationship with them. Tell me that, I will look you dead in your fucking eyes and tell you, who says? No, the fuck I'm not. If somebody's not reciprocating or putting in the effort, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. And a saying that I love is, let people do what they want to do just so that you can see what they rather do. And I fucking love that. Because that's all you gotta do. Let people do what they want to do and you'll see what they rather be doing. And by the time it got to the point where we all came together, I quickly realized that it was for something else. This ain't benefiting me. And yeah, me and my fiance, we have had several of debacles about that situation. I'm not gonna say too much about that. But yeah, man, I'm done with the shenanigans. I'm done with the bullshit in life in general. All right. It's up and it's stuck with me. Like, who I am is who I am. I work too hard for me to know who I am. And that's the thing, you set the standard. You're supposed to define who you are. And there's so many people in life that are so confused. They think that they need to be doing this and getting that and looking this way so that people can define who they are. Oh, you're a baddie. Oh, she's this. Oh, he's that. Oh, he's the man. Oh, no, who are you? For real, fuck what they saying. Who are you? And what do you get up and do every day? And what are you doing on the inside to prove that you are this thing, this revered person, this beautiful person, this handsome person, this sexy bitch, this whatever? That's the thing. And that's why a lot of people ain't gonna like me. They gonna continue to not like me because I don't give a fuck about none of that. I can just be me. I can just be who I am and be in alignment and get what it is that God has for me. Whether that be opportunities, whether that be attention, whether that be love, whether that be respect. Whatever God has for me, it comes from working on yourself. It comes from working with yourself, truly. So yeah, after I cut off my other best friend, I had no other friends after that. I still would talk to my sister friend, the only one that was here, but it just felt really weird. She was connected to other people that knew me, and they're actually family members. Some of them are family members. And again, with the favorites, like I'm not the favorite. I ain't shit, I guess. Let them tell it. But I'm not tripping, because I am the light. I'm where people come to get the light, to get the wisdom, to get the love, to get the truth, to get the clarity. So all that partying and bullshitting and let's talk about this person and let's go here and let's do that. Okay, we can do that, but what else you got for me? So maybe I understand that I was completely out of alignment. I have no ill will, I have no ill feelings. I completely surrendered and let go of everything and everybody from the past that no longer served me. And if they feel the same way about me, kudos. Good for you. Great. I love that. I love when people who are not aligned with me get the fuck away from me. That'll save me the evil eye. That'll save me from hearing your thoughts. That'll save me from all of that bullshit. Disconnect. That's the best thing you can do, because you're gonna fuck your life up if you don't. Because it's the stupidest shit to me to stay connected to people who are pissing you off. It's the stupidest shit to me to stay connected to people who you don't care for. Why would you do that? I never understood it. And that's why I had to really start to get clear with myself. Like, if people are not going to be honest with me, I'm going to be honest with myself. Yeah. And I feel like that's what I'm going to name this. I had to be honest with myself. They don't like me. They never did like me. They're probably never going to like me. Even when I do make it big, even when I do become a millionaire. There's no amount of money. There's no type of title. Nothing that you can do can make people that are committed to misunderstanding you validate you and see you and understand you and make you feel seen. They don't have the tools. You carry something that they have no access to. They may not even know about it. And when people don't know about the light, that's when they're most likely to reject it, to deny it. So God bless them. But yeah, that is pretty much my rant on that. Right now, where I'm at energetically and emotionally, I'm free. Still getting things together to where, like, I feel comfortable enough to really put myself out there and connect with new people. Like, I have new people that I have in mind, but a lot of them, again, live a distance from me. It seems like everywhere I go, the people who I am attracted to are not from that place. So weird. So weird. Because even in my hometown, it kind of was a necessity for me to look outside of where I was. Because again, everybody that I would take an interest in was related to me, or they just didn't like me. And again, when you're from a small town, like, I've dealt with colorism, I've dealt with featureism, I've dealt with all of it. I've dealt with it all. And that's really how I know everything that I know. And everything that I know is tried and true. I ain't gonna tell y'all no lie. I ain't gonna tell y'all no shit that I don't be getting into myself. I can't. And yeah, guys, I'm not what happened to me. I'm so grateful that I'm not what happened to me. I knew even back then, I always knew. I've always been projecting myself outside of situations. When I was getting bullied, one day I'm going to be the star and nobody can bully me. And what happens with stars, even when they do get bullied, it just comes with the program. It's part of the program. If you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. And I had to understand that back then too. Like, all right, I'm just gonna keep getting better. I'm just gonna keep evolving because I'm doing something right. I'm doing something right. But it's hard. It is hard. Especially because when I was younger, like, it was way harder for me to detach and to not internalize the way people said that I looked, or did just anything. The things people did to me, the things people said to me, the way people treated me. I just had to learn how to not internalize every single thing in my life. More often than not. In my life, I have more traumatic experiences with people that I love than I have positive ones. And it's not because I'm choosing to be that way. And another thing, I didn't want to talk about this. I did want to talk about this, but I didn't talk about it. And I think it's because I almost forgot. And I think it's because I wanted to push it back subconsciously. But I was slut shamed as a child, as a kid. And it's something that I never really talked about, because when you have those traumatic experiences and you disassociate, is that the word? I feel like that's what I did, so I don't really remember what happened. And to tell you guys the truth, if you ask me, I don't think that this necessarily happened to me. But what happened is, there was this boy, he was older than me. He lived at the top of my street. When I was younger, I was probably like 7 years old. This was around the time when my grandfather passed away. And he was a white boy. And my mom, my family trusted his family. We were supposed to be playing by my house behind the church. And apparently we might have kissed, or he might have, I don't know. But some girls that were older than me, they saw it. And these girls, we went to the same church. We all went to the same school. They were older than me though. They were in his grade probably, or younger than him, I don't know. But apparently they saw it. They saw us kissing or something like that. And so they spread this rumor that I did something with this boy. Mind you, I'm 7 years old. So you're telling me you see a boy who's older than me doing something with me behind a church, and you take it upon yourself to say that I'm doing something? That was a hurt piece, y'all, and that skewed the way that I view sex, the way that I view relationships, interpersonal relationships, the way that I view friendships, the way that I view sisterhood, the way that I viewed everything. Do you understand me? They told a whole bunch of people about the situation. And so I remember some of my cousins, some of my family, and we were all like around the same age. They didn't tell any adults. And this is how I knew that it was sinister. But maybe it wasn't, because if they would have told an adult, then they probably felt like I would have got in trouble, or they would have got in trouble, or he would have got in trouble. But that's the same thing that I was thinking at 7 years old, 7, 8 years old. You feel what I'm saying? So imagine this type of thing happening to you, and then your friends, your cousins, people that you don't even know, people who are older than you at that, asking you about the situation, grilling you about the situation, and not knowing what to do because you've disassociated from it, because not only is the situation at hand traumatic, but what happened after the situation is traumatic. And then for me to think about what can happen if I say yes or no, that the result of that is also fucking traumatic. I feel like if they would have just came to me and tried to talk to me, especially as older girls, but again, I was probably like 7 or 8, so they had to only be like 10, 11, 12. You feel what I'm saying? We were all childish. But that was crazy. And now that I'm this age, it's still something that runs through my mind. Later on down the years, those two same girls ended up cutting my hair when we were in church. So that's another thing. It's just like, my trust has been so broken. My trust has been so broken. And I still see the good in people. I still see the good in myself. I still see the good in other people. I still see the good in complete strangers, people that I don't know. Shit, I still see the good in motherfuckers that show me that they do bad. I still see the good in everybody. I see the bad too. And I acknowledge the bad. I call out the bad. I'm judgment. I'm karma now, bitch. Like, ain't nobody about to get one up over on me. Ain't nobody about to get one over on me. Ain't nobody about to get one under on me. You can say what you want to say. My light died. This shit died so quick. And that's the thing. People expect me to be there no matter what they do to me, no matter what they say to me. But these same people can't even be there for me. No matter what I do to them, no matter what I say to them. Make it make sense. What do I owe you? What should I offer you? Not a goddamn motherfucking thing, that's what. Not a goddamn motherfucking thing. So yeah, that's that. And speaking of parents, again, watch my vlog, but you guys have seen my stepdad on there. I had to cut him off too. Yeah, recently after that situation, actually when they were here, yeah, he called the cops on me because he was disrespecting my mom. It's just like, and this is what I'm saying, I experience people being bitches in their own lives, being dickheads in their own life. And I don't mean to call, I'm not, listen. Woosah. Stop enabling bullshit. I experience people enabling bullshit. Not only am I getting hurt, you're getting hurt. So what the fuck is your problem with me? You feel what I'm saying? It's always been, even with the bullies, it's like, I wish I would have just told my friends, bitch, are you dead ass right now? So you mean to tell me you can't pick a side between me and this fake ass bitch right here? You don't see? Oh, okay. And then it's like, hello, this person does not like you. This person is gonna harm you. If I'm not here, you're next. Duh. I just had to let people see for themselves. And I'm doing that in all areas of my life. Like my mom, I'm 100% totally ready and prepared to go no contact if I have to. If my boundaries continue to be crossed. When I say that I don't want something to be done, that's exactly what I mean. If you don't care enough about me and enough about yourself to stop allowing me to be disrespected, be harmed, be hurt, if you can't even do that for yourself, you can't do it for me. So now I'm gonna have to go no contact with you. It's that simple. This man called the cops on me in my home because he was disrespecting my mom in my home, and I told him to shut the fuck up with that shit. Yeah, you fucking right. Cause I'm not little ass J.OCEANA anymore. And then it's like, this person, my stepdad was never, he never raised me, period. My grandmother raised me, period. But when it comes to like fathering, a father figure, what I know, I had to learn on my own. When it comes to a mother figure, what I know, I had to learn on my own. Because these people don't have the tools. That's the truth, and that's the clarity that I had to come to. I still have a beautiful relationship with my mom. But I had to tell her, I'm not fucking with him. Period. We're not fucking with him. He's not coming back here. He's not gonna have a relationship with my kids. It's done. And then when he called the cops on me, he had the nerve to say, oh, I can get you put out of this house. I can make you lose this house. So I see what you're jealous of. Well, one of the things, the whole entire time he was in here trying to freaking split me and the shot apart. The way he operates and behaves in his connection, in his marriage to my mother is a fucking sham. And I'm not being disrespectful to my mom because that's her prerogative. As a woman, I would like to have a conversation, but there's only so much I can do. And the older I get, the less tolerance I have for bullshit, especially when the bullshit is by way of other people. No, you can go. You can go. Life is hard enough as it is. Then you got motherfuckers in your life taking up space and they getting on your nerves. You ain't about to get on my nerves. Ain't nobody about to get on my nerves but my kids. Ain't nobody about to get on my nerves but my kids. No. And ain't nobody about to sabotage me and I know about it or I sit by and watch it. The fuck? You called the cops on me. What the fuck type of relationship do you think that we could ever have? You called the cops on me after you did something that was wrong. At that, the audacity, the gall. But again, I'm nobody's favorite. Not even my own mom. Amen. The subtle art of not giving a fuck. I'm gonna tell you that. I'm detached from everything and everyone, except for my kids. I'm in love with Ashad. I'm actually very attached to Ashad, but even him. Motherfuckers can wake up tomorrow and decide, you know what? Fuck this, fuck that, fuck you. Like, it's just that simple. That's the truth, and that's the clarity for your ass. Get acquainted with it. Be all right with it. It's here to serve you. It's here to help you. It's here to help and serve each and every one of us. We just have to change our perspective on it. It's not a bad thing to be detached from people. It's not a bad thing to be detached from ideas or places. You just need more information. You're gaining more information. You're gaining more clarity. So don't be too head over heels, or don't jump to conclusions, or don't make, crazy decisions when you're in flow. There's times when you need to be in flow. And when you're in flow, you need to be detached from everything around you, because you have somewhere to go. And that's me right now. So no matter where I am energetically, whether I'm in a relationship, whether I'm single, regardless if I'm a mom, I'm in flow. I'm getting back into flow. I'm in connection with spirit. And again, my relationship is something that I pray heavily for, because we had so much spiritual warfare against our relationship, so much hateration against our relationship, and actual attacks against our relationship. Like, if it was anybody else, they wouldn't have made it. There's a certain level of mastery that we have had to gain to be able to stay in this connection and to level up in this connection. So it's not all for nothing, but it's a beautiful thing. Relationships of any kind, of any and all types, are work. Hard freaking work. But it makes it a lot easier when both of you are doing the work together and individually. As individuals, you need to be doing the work so that when you come together, you have something that is able to be enmeshed and be harmonious and be beautiful, right? And since life is a healing journey, of course, every moment is not going to be harmonious and beautiful. But it takes me back to doing the individual work, and then we can help each other. But when you're the only person that's doing the work and you're with somebody who's a literal fucking vegetable, a literal fucking energy vampire, they're only here to watch you do the work and say, hey, well, why don't you come over here and do the work for me too? I think the fuck not. No, thank you. I have better things to do. I have other things I would rather be fucking doing. Like talking to you guys, right? So yeah, that's pretty much all. I think I talked about everything that I wanted to talk about. I didn't mean to call them fucktards. All the shit that I had to put up with. And I just want to really reiterate, I ain't putting up with no more shit. I'm not putting up with no more shit. And you shouldn't either. It's 2024. Life is too short. Life is too beautiful to spend it with people who are committed to making life be shitty and miserable. And that's the thing, misery loves company. People who are actually happy and healthy, we love to be by ourselves. And that's the thing, I would not mind being by myself. But I understand and I understand that life is so beautiful. And just even me now, going from somebody who never had boyfriends, never had connections, to being in love, to being engaged, to a man who I am absolutely I absolutely adore him, and I respect him, and I honor him, and he's patient with me. He's just everything, right? From being single to this, like, it really changed my perspective on what is possible and what I should be open to. Like, just because I had to leave the past behind doesn't mean that there's not a future for me. And things happen so quickly, you guys. Like, it feels like just last year that I cut off people, but I've really been rocking by myself, rocking solo dolo for like the past 2 years, and healing and just getting my energy back, and dreaming and manifesting. And a lot of my manifestations have come in, but again, I want people to share these experiences with genuine, real people, authentic people who understand me, people who are on my wavelength. This is one thing you can have, and that's the thing, you can have friends that are into the same thing as you. They like the same music, they might talk like you guys might be from the same place, da-da-da-da-da. But frequency and wavelength is everything. That's what matters the most. I'd rather be around people who are on my frequency and my wavelength, but have totally different beliefs or totally different hobbies, totally different likes and things like that. I would rather be around people who are on my wavelength but are completely different from me than to be with people who are the same as me and not on my wavelength, because then we're going to be unequally yoked. I'm going to be fucking dragging you along. I'm going to be fucking carrying you along. You're going to be fucking leeching off my fucking accomplishments. You can't manifest shit. You feel what I'm saying? Again, these are the type of people that they want to become you at the end of the day, because they're not doing the work. You're not on the same frequency anyway. So you need to disconnect from these people who are not on your frequency. They're below your frequency. They're low vibrational, and get with some people that actually can add value to your life. That's really what I'm on. I just gotta really work on my social anxiety and my PTSD for real. I diagnosed myself with social anxiety and PTSD. Fuck it. So I'm still healing, you guys. I'm not fucking perfect. And again, let me reiterate that I'm not fucking perfect. None of this is to say that I'm fucking perfect. I'm far from perfect. I have my own traumas. I have my own triggers. I have my own problems. Far from fucking perfect. But yo, ain't nobody gonna tell me nothing compared to the shit that I had to see and go through. Bitch, I'm Dr. Phyllis. I feel good, I feel free, I feel accomplished, I feel blessed. And this video was just really for anybody who may be going through similar experiences at this time, or who has been through similar experiences in the past, and maybe you are like me and you're interested in getting back out there and making new connections, making new friends. And I wish you the best. Make sure you subscribe and like and leave me a comment so that we can be friends. Yes, for sure. For sure. Yes, you should do that. So yeah, like this video, subscribe, comment down below, and thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you in the next one.